Tomorrow is Leo season. Eleanor Greenberg wrote something very insightful, and it hit home for me, and I was very grateful to read this. So I am spreading the fire to turn on somebody's lights. Turn on the lights. It's fire season. Oh, I am. I'm getting ready to go to archery. I identify as a threat. My pronouns are training. I'm waiting for Christian to approve me my next video because we were entertaining the idea of ASMR. So Christian, if you listen to that, look on your Zoom. All right, I'm gonna share this. I read it, you close it down. But yes, food for thought. At least for me, I don't feel bad anymore. I don't. Today I had to like follow up on things that I trusted that was gonna be followed up by other people, and that's my project manager training. And then when I spoke to one of the people in my solar project to close out my house, so why do I have to keep following up and emailing and hounding? He's like, just keep doing it, Liza. And for once, I felt really good. Because I said, like, this whole project, this whole solar project, it's officially over a year. You guys are not cohesive, you're not communicative, you're not proactive, you're reactive, and I'm gonna write every step along the way, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. So out there. All right, here goes. Uh, why don't many women know how to take responsibility for their own happiness? Oh, text. Hold on. Okay. Eleanor Greenberg. Things are slowly changing. Until the 1970s in the United States, women were not treated like full adults. Legally, women were in nebulous realm between male adults and children. We could not get credit in our own name and needed a male relative to sign the legal papers. We also were shut out of certain professions and were paid considerably less than our male peers. Women are trained to depend on men for everything except cooking, cleaning, and childcare. This dependency on men was reinforced continuously. There's one thing I did appreciate about my ex-husband is that even in his IT manager job, he loved cooking for us. Yeah, he wasn't the typical macho man. I've got to be. All right, sorry. This dependency on men was reinforced continuously. Housing. Many young women are still discouraged from leaving home and living on their own before marriage. I was so discouraged, but I did it. They're encouraged to stay under their parents' roof and supervision. The point is that young women are thought in need of this type of supervision, and young men are not. Women are encouraged to stay dependent, men are not. Marriage. Typical marriage ceremony, a father male walks his adult female daughter down the aisle and gives her to the new male who will be her husband. No mother walks a son down the aisle to hand him over to his wife. When I got married, I enforced my mother to walk me down the aisle. I did not invite my father to give me away because he wasn't there to. It's just not, yeah. Moving on. Sex. Women are still routinely forbidden the same opportunities for sexual pleasure that men are allowed. They risk being dismissed as used goods and not marriage material for having a full sex life. Most women are trained to minimize their sexual experience and depend on their future husband to satisfy their sexual needs. Most men are given the sexual freedom denied women. Women learn not to ask directly for what they want sexually because knowing what you want implies you've had enough sexual experience to discover it and are not dependent on this partner to teach you about sex. The male ego will be hurt by hearing he is not pleasing her by whatever he is already doing. Your happiness in the relationship is dependent on pleasing your husband. You are given the message that a woman's job is to keep her man happy. Most husbands were raised to be ignorant of female sexuality and what most women need to orgasm. When women do not orgasm from whatever their husband or partner is doing, after trying to communicate their needs, most women learn not to complain or ask for something different. Nothing usually changes if they ask, except now the guy feels helpless and annoyed. Not a recipe for better sex. Most men do not notice they are leaving their wives unsatisfied. Sex ends for them when they orgasm. Work. Women routinely still are paid less than men and see less experienced men promoted over them. They are penalized if they have to temporarily leave their job to give birth or care for their children or the elderly. They are expected to take the hit for the family and potentially derail their career. Financial dependence. Women are told that their career matters less than a man's because they are not the main support of the family, and they will be expected to pick up any child care slack. They are also told that they can depend on their husband to take care of them financially. Husbands are taught to feel humiliated if they find themselves in this same situation, financially dependent on their wife. Happiness. Women are taught that their happiness requires a man. Their future happiness depends on finding the right man to marry and having a family. Meaning you're not going to be happy until you get married. Really think about that. If they, like many men, find happiness at work and are not eager to have a family, they are seen as unfeminine. Punchline. We are living in an odd time. In some parts of the world, women are still seen as male property and have few rights. The men are allowed to control and even kill their female relatives if they act too independent. In the United States and parts of Europe, women now can vote and work and do not have to depend on men for everything. In fact, very few couples can afford for the woman not to work outside the home. Both men and women find this confusing. Many of us are no longer sure about our role in their relationship and what we owe our partner. So if you think women are not taking enough control over their happiness, you are probably a young guy who is not aware of anything that happened before 1980. A simple glance at a timeline about when women were given certain rights, credit in our own name, ability to attend medical school, right to contraception, etc., will clear up why women are confused about how much to depend on men. EleanorGreenberg.com, consultant on personality disorders and relationships, author of the book Borderline Narcissistic and Schizoid Adaptations. Kadoosh. Gotta go. Ciao, ciao, brown cows.